Hi, this is chequita1 coming at you with my 1 day late, 1 week post-op video. So the surgery went fine, everything went good with all the surgery and no complications, and I was up and walking by that evening. Well, I guess I got out of surgery like around 5 o'clock, and then I was like really drowsy, and it took me a good minute to wake up out of my drowsiness, and then they woke me up and they told me it's time to walk, and it was like waking up in the morning and you're not ready to wake up, but you have to do it anyways. So that's what I did. Got up and started walking. Wasn't too bad. I was a little sore, I was a lot sore, but I got up and did it. Um, Everything went fine when the recovery and all that. I spent 2 days in the hospital. I was really raspy and sore with my throat, but that's pretty much the worst part of it. And being connected to all these freaking tubes, trying to walk around. And every time I wanted to get up and walk, I had to have a nurse come in and just unhook me with all kinds of different connections just so I could walk, which kind of was a nuisance. But you got to do what you got to do. I was so thankful for the next day. That way they could take off some of my tubes. That way I was able to walk a little more freely. But when I got out of the hospital, I came home and both of my two kids, my 4-year-old and my 3-year-old, they were both sick with a cold. So as soon as I came home, guess what happened? I caught a cold almost immediately because my lungs weren't strong enough to withstand that. So by the next morning, I was already feeling sick. By the afternoon, I was already feeling like I was underwater and I couldn't hear anything, and I wasn't too sure what was going on. I didn't know if that was just a side effect from medication or if that was just something that I was going through. So when I called the nurse the next day, because I was waking up and I still had it going on, I called the nurse the next day and she says I probably had a sinus infection and I needed to go and find some diabetic decongestion, which I did, and it is the nastiest thing you ever tasted in your life. It's gross. It took me almost 30 minutes just to get a little medicine cup of that big. So that was very horrible, and I only took it once, and I just kind of dealt with it because I didn't want to do it again. My weight starting at the liquid diet was 208.6, and as of this morning I took my weight and it was at 192.4, so that's pretty much about 17 pounds lost in about 3 weeks, I guess. I'm kind of sort of in that what the hell did I do to my stomach stage at this moment, because I have to cook dinner for my family, and cooking dinner and I'm smelling it and I'm cooking the meat, and usually when I cook I like to taste it to make sure it tastes all good, and I can't do that, and sometimes I become a little weak and I'll take a bite and chew it just to get the taste in my mouth and spit it right back out. And I know that's cheating, but that's something I'm doing right now just to keep me sane from all this liquids. Like a month long of these liquids in general are just kind of hacking on me, and it's kind of getting me a little tired mentally. So that's kind of what I do just to keep myself going every once in a while. It's not like I do it every often. It's just sometimes I need that extra flavor other than protein shakes or popsicles or water or Crystal Lights or sugar-free puddings and the broths. I'm having a really hard time with that. If anybody has any good way to make broth more flavorful other than just broth in a can, or if the bouillons taste better, let me know. But I got my 2-week post-op appointment on the 3rd, and I can't wait till that, because then I can at least move to the next level, which I'm looking forward to so much. My hydration, I'm not keeping up as much as I should be. I'm doing as best as I can. I'm not getting up to 64, but I'm doing at least maybe 40 ounces. And my protein, I'm trying to search my options on protein. I got a flavorless protein powder, so that way I could add it to my soups, or I could add it to some other stuff like my yogurts. The other day I put a little too much protein powder and it just tasted horrible, so I know not to put as much in a little thing of yogurt. The chocolate pudding one is okay, but I think I'm just getting a little too tired of sweet. which is crazy because I'm a sweet freak and now I'm getting tired of sweet, so it's kind of crazy. It's freaking me out. I'm like craving savory stuff, like my tacos I made the other day. I'm craving my savory stuff like the spaghetti my husband made yesterday. Just even toast with butter sounds amazing at this point in time. But I think that's about it right now. I'm a little tired, I don't have no makeup on, and my throat's still a little raspy from having the cold that everybody has now because my kids gave it to everybody in the house. My husband, my daughter, my 2 babies, and me, and I think my stepson might be getting it, but I'm not too sure yet as of that. But yeah, my recovery, my first 2 days of recovery weren't too well rested because I had to take care of my babies all night. My son had fevers 2 nights in a row as soon as I got home, and my husband had to work at 6 o'clock in the morning and he needed his sleep, so I was the one getting up and tending to him. So here I am sick, and here he is sick, or I'm recovering and he's sick, and I'm trying to get up out of my bed, which is a pretty high king-size bed. And every time I try to get up out of bed, I do a sit-up and my stomach would be so sore and it hurt so bad, but I had to do what I had to do, so I pretty much haven't gotten much sleep really, because now my back has just been kind of tense and sore. I started school at the end of December so I could start going for my medical laboratory technician, and with the surgery at the same time and my schooling starting at the same time and just like a whole bunch of other things that I'm trying to deal with at the same moment of time, everything just kind of overwhelmed me. So I ended up taking a medical leave from my school, even though I just started, and gonna restart the whole classes from scratch in April. That way it gives me time to figure out what I'm doing here with my stomach, and figuring out meals, and figuring out times, and figuring out just how I should do things that's best for me. And by the time I go back to school, I'll be ready, prepared, and hopefully a little more confident. We'll see, fingers crossed, because I'm not good at math, and one of the classes is math, and I'm just horrible at it, and I don't know. I have my husband, he's a really good tutor. When he teaches me, I can understand, but when the math teacher teaches me, it's like over my head. Anyways, though, I'm going to cut it off here. If you have any questions, hit me up. Alrighty. Embrace love.